The Halal Travel Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Halal Travel Podcast. So today we have someone very special. We have Shamsydar Ani, who is dubbed the Sambal Queen for her flair in mixing spices during her time as a finalist in Masterchef Singapore Season 1. What a mouthful. So she was a finalist in Masterchef Season 1. She's also a bubbly mom of one. She's a true blue foodie, spending her time between food photography, writing, recipe development, and maintaining an active social media presence. So she's also an advocate for modern Malay cuisine, and has also wrote a cookbook titled Spices and Lime, Recipes from a Modern Southeast Asian Kitchen. So welcome and thank you for taking time out to be on our podcast. Maybe you can start
Thank
with
you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks. You can share a bit more. I mean, I've probably already condensed everything that you said. I'm sure there's a lot more. But maybe we can start with how you started. Like, how did it all start? Your love of food and cooking.
How did I start? My first foray into food, basically. I got tired of my mom's cooking. I love my mom's cooking. I really do. But she has a repertoire of maybe 6 dishes that she rotates, and these dishes were the ones that I grew up with. You have your rendang, ayam lemak, your soup ayam, all that basic standard Malay food. But when I got to JC, I was a bit tired of I need to learn how to cook because I want to explore other cuisines. At a point of time, there wasn't much halal food outside. It's not as it is. The scene wasn't as it is right now. Halal cafes were very few. Halal certified restaurants also were very few. It was like your standard Benson's, McDonald's, that kind of thing. You didn't have fancy food that was halal. So my sister, she has a family of her own, and she cooked a lot for her kids. Yeah. Yes. She cooked a lot for her kids. And she was always inviting me to come over. And she was the one who introduced me to Western food, Vietnamese food. And I think that's how I started to cook, basically. To break out of the rut because I was tired of my mom's cooking.
Right. But I think Malay cuisine is one of the hardest things to cook just because there's so many elements to it. And you can try and replicate the same recipe from someone, but it will never taste the same. But
definitely.
Yeah, ironically, you say you are now an advocate for modern Malay cuisine though. So is it do you feel your roots is important?
Sorry?
You feel your roots is important in kind of the recipe development that you do, the kind of cuisine that you do? Definitely.
As much as I cook and I eat and I try other cuisines, I still go back to Malay food. And even when I went into MasterChef, I was telling myself that if I do get through to the top 10, if I do get through as far as I could, I wanted to showcase Malay food because I was getting tired of not seeing Malay food on the world map.
Right.
If you watch a lot of TV shows, they talk about Indian food, they talk about Chinese food, but not so much about Malay food. And I guess Malay food is the subcategory of Indonesian food, which of course it's pretty much what do you call it?
It's
expected
connected in a way
because,
also.
The term Malay is just very diverse. It's just too general, too generic. So when I got into MasterChef, I'm like, you know what, let's go back to my roots, do what I know and just make it a bit stylo, make it a bit fancy, and that's what I did. So I still go back to my roots. I still go back to Malay food because essentially that's who I am. I can't run away from it, and I think that it's good for me to master Malay food, especially now we've come to an age where I think consumers are too reliant on just buying, local dishes, Malay dishes off someone else.
Yeah. And like again, I think just because it's just so like tedious to make, like it takes hours. strenuous activity, Malay food.
That's the thing. Like everyone tells me that I can't deal with cooking Malay food. There's so much mess.
But it's not,
there's
is
too
it?
many elements. But once you get a hang of it, you understand how to make like a basic rempah. You understand the timing. You understand the technique of making sure that the rempah is dah pecah minyak. So once you understand, you will actually master it. So that's where I come in with the modern Malay part, where I use Western techniques into Malay cooking.
Right.
Yeah.
You were saying like bila dah pecah minyak, right? But then like every time when I see my nenek cook, I just like, what is pecah minyak? And like what is bila rempah tu dah garing? Padahal it's like gravy. I was just like, apa itu garing? Or like how do I know? Like for example, like people like me, how do I know when to put in like the next ingredients? That kind of thing.
I see. So so that's the thing. You see, the thing about Malay cooking is there's a lot of agak-agak. There's a lot of
campak-campak.
Tengok je lah. Campak-campak. Tengok je lah, that kind of thing. And I think it's something that's very, how do I say it? It's very discouraging for the younger generation for them to learn how to cook. Because personally for me, that's how I learned how to cook. My mom was like, alah kau agak-agak lah bawang, santan, she was just like agak-agak. Then, I told her like, I cannot, I need to know, the basic for me to learn, I need to understand like what is agak-agak, like what is it? Give me a ratio, give me a percentage. So I actually like sat down with my recipe book, and I saw how much of ingredients she put in, and that's just the basic lah for me to understand what is it she means by agak-agak, and it's something I think it's a very Western concept lah, like cooking with measurements. Like for example, when I wrote my cookbook, I have my roti boyan recipe. It's actually my mom's recipe, and she was laughing at me when she saw the book. She saw the recipe, and she was like, "Why you put in like exact measurements to this roti boyan? Like, are you sure these measurements will work? And I'm like, yes, because I've tried, and many people have tried, and she didn't believe me until like I showed her like a few of my followers who messaged me and like, hey, I followed your roti boyan recipe to the T, and it actually worked for the first time ever, and my mom, she was still in disbelief, and she's like, okay, fine, let me give it a try. But then again, after she's done it, she's still like, okay lah, but I think you still need to add a bit more of this, a bit more of that. She'll never say it's a good recipe.
It's hard. Those compliments are hard to come by. Okay, what is like the one recipe for you that's like the most you find most difficult to make, or like it's just a lot of steps and it's just not easy that you think?
One recipe that is very difficult, is it?
Yeah, like I don't know, rendang, is it? Or I feel like rendang takes a long time.
For me, none of the recipes are difficult already, because I think I've taken enough time. I think I've worked on it for over a decade since I was like 20, learning how to cook. But if I were to be a beginner, the rendang definitely is the most difficult, without a doubt. Just because there's a lot of ingredients and you need to have a lot of patience. So that's the thing that always turns people off from trying to make rendang. It's like, too many ingredients. I don't know what's cinnamon in Malay. I don't know how to go to the party and ask for like what other spices I need.
I had an embarrassing incident at the pasar at the time. My mom asked to buy French beans. French beans.
Heinz. I love it.
Kacang panjang or
it's not panjang, it's the other one. Kacang not boncis.
kacang boncis, is it? Kacang boncis.
Long bean is which one? Kacang
The long
panjang.
one.
Kacang panjang.
So I think it's kacang boncis. So I asked her what's it in English. So okay, French beans. Then I went to the pasar. Then I see, okay, this one looks like it. So I take. Then I go to the uncle. I take 2 packet. I go to the uncle, coffee. Uncle, this one is French bean, right? This one snow peas. Okay, you got French beans. Finish already. Okay, thank you. I put back.
Lain kali you beli online sudah. Kan dah siap-siap ada. Siap-siap ada namanya.
But like one or two things, it's just not worth it. But like
Actually, I think that's why people also go to supermarket because they are used to the English terms.
True.
They just rather like, you know what, I don't know what's this in Malay. Let me just go to supermarket and read labels. Yeah.
But actually, I have a tip to go to the pasar.
Yeah.
When your mom asks you to go to pasar.
Yeah.
So I would go and then I would actually video call her and then show her the market. This one okay, this spring onion okay. So ambil lah yang lawa sikit. And I said, okay, this one okay.
Wow.
So I would actually force her and bug her to make sure that I didn't buy the wrong thing.
Habis kalau my nenek ask me to buy, takkan nak video call.
Cannot lah.
My nenek.
Why not?
My nenek video call.
Cannot FaceTime.
Video call your mother and ask her to.
That's what my husband does to me. Yeah. So when I ask my husband to get stuff for me at the supermarket, they will like, okay, I'm calling you now, and they will video call me and he'll show me the entire shelf. Where's the thing that you want?
But talking about Malay food kan, I rasa macam because my grandparents, they are very conservative and they only cook Melayu food. So macam my cousin really like to eat paru goreng, kind of very crispy kan.
Oh yum, yes.
But then the process of cooking the paru is like macam kena rendam the paru, then you need to like rebus, and like it's huge The whole thing is like, it's crazy how much they can like do it,
When you fry it, it's a lot of oil splatter.
Yeah. I don't involve myself in the kitchen.
That's why now you just get the paru that's already, boiled at the market.
Oh, they do that. Oh, tip.
Yeah.
Buy the one that's already boiled.
I don't think my nenek beli.
Yeah, my mom also don't buy the boiled ones. She will boil from home.
Yeah, I think they think macam ada banyak preservative kat dalam. Macam dia taruh macam MSG or something.
Not really, but I think it's just this makcik mindset, where I must do everything from scratch. I must know that the kambing or the lembu just slaughtered.
Yeah. But sometimes when I'm like helping my mom, because my assistance in the kitchen comes in the beginning, aka buying ingredients, and at the end, aka frying the things. Okay. In the middle is just my mom prepping and the whole thing. So like when I'm frying ayam goreng, fried chicken, goreng pisang, all these fried things, right? And I question myself whether this is worth it. Because it gets everywhere. Firstly, the oil gets everywhere. It gets all over me. Yeah. It's so scary. It's just like, I'm just like, is this worth it or not? Because like when you have, I don't know, some items when you fry, there's like cornstarch and oil are like, they make like
it's a lot more, it's crispy lah.
Yes, it's good, but like the damage in the kitchen is a lot.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, it's like, is this worth it? Is this worth it? Oh, why?
Okay, air fryer je lah.
I wear long sleeve, so that I don't get hurt sometimes. It's so. I want to like.
I guess that's the difference between our generation and our parents' generation. Like, I don't know with you guys, but my mom, she was working and not working. It was like there was a period of time she was a stay-at-home mom, and then after that she went back to work for a while, and then she's like, okay, I just want to stay home again. So you've got all the time in the world, I suppose. So that's why they don't mind getting their hands dirty.
True.
Yeah.
We need to toughen up, man.
And back then tak ada pun macam like instant mix ke.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to get all the turmeric and curry.
And make your own like curry powder. Make your own like batter.
Yeah. Messy.
Yeah. But
not my type.
But I think like talking about like food and things, I think really Singapore is at the hub of it. Like we have so many kinds of cuisines. We have so many types of food. Yeah. I think when you go overseas, the first thing we miss about home is the food. Yeah. For sure. I don't know what Nurul is giving me side eye.
No, chili.
Yeah.
Sambal kicap, everything spicy.
Condiments.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not something that you get overseas. But like how would you like describe, food in Singapore for like someone who's coming in as like a visitor or like a traveller? Let's say you have someone visiting Singapore. How would you
food in Singapore to a visitor?
Yeah.
How would you?
What would you let them try first?
what would I let them? Okay, I'll probably ask them, what's their comfort level with spice, and I mean, you can't immediately introduce them to like sambal balado lah, right? Yeah, you have to work your way up. So something like ayam lemak would be a easy first dish for you to give them a try. But yeah, I made friends with a few couch surfers before, and I think ayam lemak is a safe dish for them.
Like it's like rich in the santan, the coconut milk. I think that's always good. The depth of flavors. Yum.
Yeah. I think it's I don't know. Ayam lemak is like my comfort dish. It's my go-to dish when I'm like, I need to hook me up. You just dump everything in a pot, let it boil, then you add the santan, and it's really comfort level to the max.
So that's your comfort food, you would say?
Yeah. Because like when I was in primary school, I would smell my mom cooking it like from 2 stories down. And I'll climb up the stairs and I'll be like, okay, I think Ibu is cooking ayam lemak, because I can smell the rempah. And then sure enough, when I get home, she'll be like, how do you know? I'm like, I can smell, and then I cannot wait. I'll have to like, it's okay if it's like piping hot, I'll still just
Yeah.
Sometimes, ever since I work from home, right? So my nenek would cook in the kitchen at around 12, which is our lunchtime. Now I would just enter the kitchen, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to eat. Because like you never know, because bila dia masak macam ayam goreng, you need to eat it hot and crispy. And like if you wait a bit longer, it's going to be soggy. So she always like, belum masak, belum habis. Because she needs to wipe down the kitchen. Macam baru kasih orang makan kan. But I don't care, just take lah. You cannot wait, this kind of things cannot wait.
What's your comfort food?
I would say not comfort food, but I would say like lama nak fikir.
Nurul, what's the comfort food?
Okay, wait. I think not comfort food, but then like I think a day to Haja Maimunah is a good day.
Right.
So like Haja Maimunah macam tahu telur, Masya Allah. It's the best. And like you said, ayam lemak, the best lah.
Nice. Nurul, what's yours?
Now I'm like craving for my ayam lemak cili padi that my mom made yesterday.
Tiba-tiba semua orang cakap food
No, it really is because I remember, because the way that I eat ayam lemak cili padi is, I guess to my mom is weird. So whenever I take my rice and put my ayam lemak kuah, it will like overflow. So it looks like a soup. So my mom would actually take a photo. Yeah, she will take a photo yesterday. She took a photo yesterday, and I know for a fact she will go and show to her friends. And I'm like, look at my anak makan ayam lemak macam gini. And I'm like, why? So it's so nice.
You like hirup the kuah, right?
Yes.
I tak suka banyak sangat kuah. I want it to be like pekat-pekat the nasi.
Right. Like dry, rice dry.
Yeah.
But roti kira is
I
also
like
nice.
that as well, but I must have some sambal balado on the side.
I haven't reached the sambal balado part. Like I haven't reached that level.
Sambal balado and sambal belacan, is it the same thing?
No, it's not. Balado, sambal belacan is uncooked. Sambal balado is cooked. So it's really just ginger, garlic, your lada, and then you add some daun limau and asam lah, to make it, to balance out the spiciness. So it's really spicy. I really love it when it's really spicy. So ayam lemak is sometimes spicy, sometimes not spicy. Right? Depends on where you buy it from. So if you add the sambal balado, and then if you add like a dry urap, tauge urap. I'm one of those who actually love tauge.
One of those.
So one of the rare, I suppose. So you add that to your ayam lemak and sambal balado. Oh, that's like heaven.
Actually, like I don't know if it's weird, but then like I cannot eat tauge on like other things, but I can eat tauge urap. It's just something else.
It's
this
so
tauge
raw.
urap.
It's almost raw though.
I don't know. Is it the taste or is it like the crispiness?
No thanks. But okay, now I know.
Like there's a texture issue lah when the tauge is, when you blanch it, even if you buy like soup, right? They add tauge. I don't like it when they blanch it.
Yeah.
I always tell them
see.
don't blanch the tauge. Because I like it crispy.
I see. Okay. Now I know. My house only has sambal belacan. Dia has sambal balado. You can put in a request now. Sambal balado.
Oh, is it a request?
But I think just white rice, one like meat main like ayam lemak cili padi, and you have like sambal belacan and like veggie tauge if you have tauge. But just without also, I think it's just so good.
Yeah. Annyeong! Welcome to Jeju, South Korea, the island of beautiful nature, the best beaches, and home to some of the most scenic road trips. Indulge in only the best classic and halal Korean food scene and enjoy the laid-back lifestyle here on this island. Get your legs ready to hike up the Songsan Ilchulbong to see the amazing view of this little town. And maybe say hello to the Henyo, the majestic female divers right by the ocean. And one thing you can never miss on this island is the $1 million sunset at Depo Chisang Jolly Cliff. All of that right here in Jeju, South Korea.
Okay, next question. So we talk a lot about food, and we briefly mentioned about how you were a finalist on Masterchef Singapore. How was that whole experience for you, being a participant?
I think when I got to the part where, it was a semi-finalist where I met, it was a restaurant challenge, and I met Marco Pio White. I felt like huge, huge responsibility on my shoulders. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like a hijabi, I'm Malay, and I'm here in front of Marco Pio White cooking in this restaurant. I've got to do something. I cannot embarrass myself, I cannot embarrass my people. I was like, pressure, stress. But it also felt, I think it was a really good feeling that I got that far because looking back, I think that was the best experience ever in my life.
Right.
I mean, Marco Pio White, not many people know him. I admit, even my friends at the time, I met Anthony Bourdain once, the late Anthony Bourdain. I met him at a restaurant. He was filming Sabah Menanti. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, Anthony Bourdain. And then I went back to the office, and then my colleagues were like, who is he? I was like, so embarrassed. Even with Marco Pio White, my friends were like, oh, we're so happy for you, but who is he? Why? It's like, it's really weird that I have this love for food, this love for cooking, but people around me, they all just know food, and they don't understand the how nerdy I can get about food. But they still support me, so I'm very thankful for that.
But the pressures, I think, of MasterChef and things, no regrets. Any regrets?
No regrets at all. It's just that, that feeling where I should have done this, I should have done that. I could have gone further, but I think, it was just nicely planned, But probably Allah was like, dah lah girl, you relax dah lah lepas ni.
But I think it's amazing what you've accomplished.
Is this the first MasterChef?
Thank you so much.
First season.
Season. So how is the audition process? How did you first enter?
Audition? It was actually very random. They first announced that they were having Masterchef Singapore, and then there was a big hoo-ha that they're going to put it on Channel 8, and everyone was like, there was lots of there was a lot of debate, like why, we want to watch it too, it should be on an English medium channel. And then when they decided, like, okay, you know what, let's just switch to English medium, and we'll open auditions for English speakers lah. And that's when I auditioned. I submitted my submission at the form, and that was like a day to the deadline. One whole day to the deadline. And I was in the office, I was bored. I'm like, okay, you know what, let's just fill this up, let's just try my luck. And the next morning I received a phone call, on the way to work, and the person was like, you got to come to the audition tomorrow. What time is good for you? And I was like, okay. It was very fast. I was very chop. I had to submit a recipe, and then I had to get the ingredients lah. And what I cooked was ayam lemak cili padi.
Nice.
It was, but I gave my own spin to it. I cooked the rice with serai, so it was like nasi serai. And then the ayam, I actually grilled it first so that I had a crispy skin, and then I just poured the kuah on top lah. So and then I served it with a side of sambal. So I think they liked the twist that I did to the ayam lemak. Yeah. It was very heartwarming when after the audition, right? Because we were given 45 minutes to cook. Just 45 minutes. That's usually ayam lemak. I think I usually take 1 hour lah. 45 minutes is kind of pushing it. So after it was done, the producers sat down, talked to me, and then they were like eating my food. I only prepared one plate, and it wasn't a lot. And I was like worried because I think the other producer haven't tried, so you might want to leave some for your colleague. And then the lady was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. This is really good. I thought the entire plate was for me." And I was very touched. I was very touched that they actually enjoyed it, and they called me back eventually for top eating. Yeah,
nice. It's cute. And like ayam lemak cili padi, that is like your winning dish.
Yeah,
that must be really comforting. But is a pressure that we see on screen real as well? What you experienced?
For me, yes. Because I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm very competitive. I was in a competitive sports before, so I think it's just natural for me to be competitive in whatever competition I'm doing lah. So I was like surveying the competition, looking, and I'm like, you know what? I think I've got my Malay dishes. I'm considered like a pro amongst the rest when it comes to Malay food. But I had to admit that I have some weaknesses. Like I'm not a pasta person as much. I don't know how to cook Chinese food as much. I don't know how to make soups. I don't know how to make stocks until after the competition. Because that's not what I usually eat. Yeah. So like if you ask me to make fishball noodle, even until now I'm like, never mind, fishball noodle I'll go buy.
Hey, fun fact, Rauda's mother make her own fishball.
She would like make the fish, buy the fish
paste,
and then she would scrape the inti, and then she make into like fishball.
But then just buy it
Is
instant.
Is it the Malay style fishball?
I would say it's a Malay style. My mom is a big fan of Malay food, so everything she Malay-fied. So yeah.
Okay. So the Malay fishball is not bouncy. It's not like toing. They don't have the toing.
It's very kenyal.
Macam bergedel.
No.
Macam bakso meatball kind of.
Bakso, yes.
It's very dense. Yeah, it's very dense. Yeah.
It's basically just fish meat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask a question, but I don't know if it's sensitive.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so like when you enter as a Muslim, right? Do they like make sure that the things prepared are halal, or like is there a special station for you? Because like sometimes you might want to taste your own dishes, kan?
Yeah.
So like, is there anything like that?
So even before the competition, I wasn't as anal. Because I travel a lot, so I kind of like close one eye. I am like, okay, if they say it's halal, I'm going to take the benefit of the doubt. And if they say that okay, this doesn't have any meat, I've got to take the benefit of the doubt. So, but I'm very thankful that before the filming, they were the one who came to us because there was another Malay contestant. So they came to us and they said, okay, you guys are going to have your own separate knives. You guys are going to have, we are going to have all halal meat. So basically by default, all the meat was halal, and they kept the pork and the bacon all in a closed fridge. So it wasn't like visible to us. So that was very touched. And right. I was very touched. I was very happy when I found this out because it made my life easier. And they didn't have any challenges where I had to cook pork or whatever. They felt like it's really the producer themselves told me that like that's kind of stupid. I'm not going to make you guys go through that. So just cook whatever you feel up your fancy.
That's nice.
It's really considerate.
I think it's a whole step forward when they actually reach out to you first instead of you was kan. So nice.
The production seems to be very much different from other MasterChef that I have watched. I can't remember which country.
Australia.
No, I don't know. I really can't remember. But one of the contestants was a vegan, and so she was actually forced to cook meat, but then she can't taste it. So I felt like the competition was very unfair on her part. But it seems like in Singapore's context, it was really good.
Yeah.
But we had another vegetarian contestant, Soumya, the Indian lady. So she's vegetarian, but I think she's okay with cooking meat because her husband and son is not vegetarian. So she's vegetarian. Yeah, she's vegetarian by choice and for religious and by choice. So she said that, it's okay. I don't have to taste the food, the meat for me to know whether it's done. I just trust my instincts.
Wow.
So that's where the skills come in, where you taste something, where you don't have to taste something, you just know that, okay, this will work. Yeah.
That's amazing. To cook. Firstly, to cook for food for that you don't eat or you cannot eat for others. I mean, that's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And you have to make multiple versions of the thing for yourself, for your kids, for your family. So,
but come to think of it, it's like you fasting lah. Cook without tasting. It's okay lah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you ever wonder if the food tastes good. Just rely on someone's. Is it good?
She can taste, right? I think like macam...
No, if it has meat, she wouldn't taste.
What if it's just the gravy?
It's the gravy if it's just
assuming that it's the gravy. I don't know.
Okay, maybe we all know. Okay. Yeah. So actually, we and you. How am I saying? Cut this out.
You and I, both of us.
Both of us. Sorry. Okay, so we have been working on something special with Shamsydar. So we are actually working on a Muslim visitors guide to Singapore. The first one has actually been released last year. So we are currently in the works of updating the second edition. In addition to that, we actually have a lifestyle supplement. So at the time of the publish of this, it may not yet be ready. It may not be live, but we're teasing it a little bit. And part of the feature that she's going to be in is her perspective of Geylang Serai. So we have like a food spread where we talk about and we highlight all, Singapore's delicious food. And really when you come to Geylang Serai and this area, actually where our office is at, the hub of it, it's not actually a place that I think tourists come to. I think typically they go to Kampong Glam, where all the good cafes are at, Haji Lane. They go to Chinatown, they go to all these main neighborhoods, which is also good. But I think Geylang Serai is really an out and coming place where really if you want to taste local authentic dishes that are affordable, this is where you come. And I think some of the places that you shared is very dear to our hearts as well. We go there for lunch sometimes. So one of it is Yizun. Actually, you love Yizun, right?
Crispy eggplant.
I would like to thank Rauda for that, man. I need to go back there very soon and eat that. Then I might tapao tomorrow.
Yes. I was just thinking about it when we were here in the office. Maybe I should tapao Yizun today. Crispy eggplant. So life changer, right?
Yes.
So what is Geylang's kind of significance in your life? Because we all know apart from it being...
I'm losing you.
What is Geylang kind of significance in your life? So we all know it's a food haven for one, but it's also a supermarket. Sorry, not supermarket. It's a wet market. So it's got long history being a wet market. It's where our moms go to, our parents go to buy groceries.
People from Jurong would come here on the weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom does.
Wow.
It's crazy. People will go above and beyond. Yeah.
Wow. And in context, the Geylang is more on the east side of the island. So coming from all parts of the world, and I think because
all parts of the city.
Out of the city. I'm tripping today, man. I don't know what's wrong.
On the plane and then he's like, I'm Geylang.
Well, you should. You should come. Maybe not
I'm
for
gonna
fish.
go Geylang, get my bubo kampung, and then fly back to Melbourne. That's it.
Yeah. So kampung is one of the things that you recommend, right? You said. But how was it like? When you were a kid, did you follow your mom around to Geylang? Was it like significant part of your life?
You see, I don't remember much of my childhood because I was always reading. I was a bookworm back then. But I do remember following my mom to Geylang to get stuff. And she didn't want me to follow. So this is the thing, I don't know, another thing about Malay Mother's Day, they want us to cook, but they don't want us to help.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So last time she didn't want me to follow her to the market, but Bopian, right? I was like 5 or 6 years old. She has to bring me along. So she'll park me at the Kedai Chendol. She'll park me and she'll give me $2, and she will tell me, okay, you sit out here, here's $2, buy whatever you want, I'll be back in like 1 hour, So I'm there, okay lah, $2, and back then cendol was 50 cents. I still remember.
Cendol tepi longkang Yes, right.
Yeah, in the small blue.
The cup,
Yeah. So then I would probably get like four bowls. Every 15 minutes I'll buy one bowl. And then at the end of it, my mom with a bag of like ayam, bag of daging. And then she's like, berapa mangkuk cendol kau beli? Dia bagi $2. Habis lah.
Cendol buffet.
She'll be like, I don't know what to do with this kid anymore. She's like, okay, kasak kau lah. But yeah, that's one of my fondest memory.
Yep.
And up to today, I can still smell Geylang. The old Geylang. Smell, and there used to be this pakcik who sells baju kurung and tudung inside. He will lay out all the baju kurung like on the table. I don't know what it is. It's like an ambin kind of thing, and he has a song for it. I don't remember the song, but yeah, I still remember that because that was my childhood lah, and I miss that sometimes because now when I go Geylang, I'm like, I have to fight with this makcik to get this Geylang lah.
Crazy, the makcik-makcik dekat Geylang so it's crazy.
You must be confident, when you want to order stuff.
Yeah. If you macam gitu dah, tepi sikit lah. The other day my mom, she was walking, so macam kan very packed kan cause COVID so macam ada makcik kat belakang ni, dia push my mom's leg with the trolley. Like nak marah pun tak boleh gitu kan. So they're very feisty.
I think it builds a lot of confidence in character when you go to a wet market, not a supermarket, a wet market. I think the Geylang that you talk about is like before the Geylang now, right? Like, when it was just a one-story sort of place. My memory of Geylang was like whenever my mom wants to go to the pasar, I was the youngest and she would drag me along. I would dread it because it's very early in the morning. I don't like it, it's very wet. But I remember that whenever we go there, my dad would always have lontong. And then I would go because they would buy for me like snacks. And then like this thing called Apam Pulau Pinang, which is also known as Apam Balik. Which they still sell now. I think I'm not so sure, but back then it was like he always buy for me the same thing, and I would go because of that. And like I would never go into like the wet market. Same as like Shamsydar, they would just park me at one side to eat, feed me, keep me busy. And then that's like thinking about it now. It's I didn't like it, but I think it really left a lot of good memories. Did you ever experience, Hazira, that Geylang, because you are like
Gen Z. I would think I only like experienced it when I was like 5 years old. And by the time I reached 16, macam dah robo.
So you renovated it?
Yeah, I renovated and I moved to the temporary. That's the temporary one. So that experience, and then now it's this. Tapi sekarang pun I don't really like to go to the wet market. I just think it's very packed. I prefer a fair price.
It is, but I don't know. I think once you've come to an age where you have your family, you have your household, and you made friends with the orang pasar, it's pretty fun lah. So, like I'm really best friends with the abang who jual the kambing. I'm really good friends with the pakcik jual daging, and then the apik udang, that one, the wife knows lah what I want, Basically I go there, I just take and then sit down.
That's good, that's good.
I guess it's the appeal of still going to wet markets. It is also like a lot cheaper, fresher sort of.
It's definitely a lot cheaper. Fresher, yes, but you've got to be picky lah. You've got to check. So there's a beauty about wet markets. You see, like a fish, you check the gills whether it's fresh. If you go to the supermarket, you just just see this one looks okay. And then if you go to NTUC, like they ask, you have to cut for you.
Yes.
But I think one thing that our generation is daunted by is the relationship, I suppose, the talking to the shop owner. Because like what you guys said just now, right? You've got to be a bit feisty, you've got to be a bit fast, you've got to know what you want, but you can charm your way lah. You can ask, which one is the fresher one? Is this today one or yesterday one? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. I think it takes experience, it takes time.
Yeah, you need to be a pro.
Yeah.
To get there, you have to start somewhere.
Later you buy long beans, okay?
there will become a time where I will know my vegetables.
Okay,
Even the
inshallah.
vegetables I do not eat. Trust my words. Okay. But apart from that, also, second level there's a lot of food, right, in Geylang. So, what are some? We talked about Yizun. We talk about your bubuk kampung at Sajan Madara. What are some of your kind of picks in this area? Whenever you come here,
My what, sorry?
Your picks.
Picks. I think one of the must-have when I go Geylang is the chenteng. I need to leave with like a bottle or two of the chenteng because it's really good.
Yep.
What else? Kueh. The kueh from Tornado.
Oh, that's the name of the shop.
Yeah, that's the name of the shop.
See, the thing about Geylang is like I don't really remember the name.
Yeah, you just know where it is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And then there's another one macam kedai tak ada nama.
Oh, literally say
kedai tak ada nama.
no name shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first time I hear there's a shop called Tornado. Now I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kedai kueh actually shared with like I think the anak has like a kebab station there.
Ooh.
So the Tornado is a kebab lah. Yeah.
Oh.
So the mother runs the kueh. I think I'm not too sure, but the kueh there is really really good. I think once you buy from that shop, you wouldn't want to eat anywhere else lah.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna look for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad likes to buy Gandus. You know what
Gandus
Gandus?
apa?
No.
Shamsydar, you know what is Gandus?
Tepung gandum.
Gandus.
What's Gandus?
Gandus is okay, there's this shop in Pasar Geylang upstairs. So it's called Gandus shop. So it's like this, you know how you eat like, I feel like so much pressure trying to describe this thing. You know like you eat appam, is it?
Okay.
I don't know what is it called. There's a white thing and then there's a red sugar, orange sugar.
Oh, apam ah.
Appam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then so it's a similar
Yeah.
thing. You have that red sugar, but it's like a semicircle coconut doughy kind of thing. So it's semicircle, it's very dense.
Oh, it's like steamed, is it?
Yes.
I
don't know how
it's
else
like the Malay idli. Yeah.
Something,
Like
you know?
the Malay idli. I don't know what's the
It's got
name.
coconut, it's got like tepung, it's like the basic of
Yeah,
every
yeah.
good kueh lah, basically.
Is there any inti? No.
No, that is inti lah, the coconut thing. It's a semicircle hard thing. It's a very old kind of food, I think. So whenever my dad goes there, he'll buy the Gandus. So all this like,
I think that's the thing I like about Malay kuehs. It's like when you describe it, okay, it has pandan, it has gula melaka,
Everything
it
has
has tepung. Exactly.
it's chewy. It's a bit of a...
So you're talking about onde-onde, then you're talking about kueh lopes and everything. It's the same thing.
Actually, that's true. I was thinking like, onde-onde and then badak beredam.
Yeah.
It's iterations of the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Yeah.
And the kelapa is
yeah.
instead of like solid, it's like liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the kueh dada. You know, the
also the same
It's the same thing. Coconut is green. It's got gula melaka. It's just like
true.
they have these few basic ingredients and they just got creative with it.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
just like
It's just in different states of matter. You have the solid, you have the liquid, and then you have the,
right. So sometimes when my mom
Liquid.
has this green thing on the table, then it's like guessing what is it going to become. Is it going to be onde-onde? Is it going to be badak berendam? You don't know. So that's fun. Yeah.
I think what I like most about Geylang kan is like my grandparents, so they will always they will go to the second level after they're done shopping at level 1, they'll go to second level and then meet their friends there. So they cannot go a week without going to Geylang because that's where the pot is.
Oh, the meeting point.
Yeah, meeting point. And then like, kawan bomba, kawan klinik gitu. So cute.
Yeah.
It's just camaraderie.
So they come from all parts of the island to meet them.
Yes. Yeah, actually people will actually like go to Geylang just to see their friends.
That's true.
Like confirm akan jumpa.
So cute. So cute.
Tu je.
Okay.
I can't wait to reach that age because I actually do enjoy, like eating with my friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Macam nak Emma gitu kan.
But where will your place be? No. You know?
Just tukar-tukar. So like last time I feel like I would go macam like Haji Lane area kan. But then now I've gotten to like appreciate Geylang because it's where like everyone actually goes. So it changes.
I guess it depends on which is still standing by the time you are a hajah.
That's true. That's true. But I do think my place would be Bedok, Simpang Bedok.
Oh, okay.
The heart of Bedok.
Yeah, it is very suitable for lepak sessions too.
Yes.
For you to stay there for long. Like
That used to be me 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm probably gonna be you next. See where you're
15
gonna
years
be at.
later. Okay. So I think you also recently wrote a cookbook, right? I mean, how was it? Was it a long time coming for you? Or do you have plans to release a second edition?
It was definitely in the works. I was planning to write it like even before Masterchef, but after Masterchef, the opportunity came. Marshall Cavendish actually approached me, and then it was actually my second child because I wrote it pretty much from the point I was pregnant all the way till like my son was 6 months. So it took a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but only because I was pregnant now.
Right.
Yeah. So it's my second child. I don't know. Maybe if the opportunity comes, I'll write a second one. But right now, as a mom, I'm always worrying about what my son is eating. What am I going to feed my son? Like sometimes I join all this baby
Groups.
like feeding groups, baby feeding groups, baby recipes, and then I'm like looking at them and I'm like, wow, their kids really eat all of this. Because my son will just eat off my plate. He won't eat what I prepare for him separately unless it's like really good, really sedap. So I'm like, sometimes I look at him, okay lah, gasak kau lah, you're full, you're happy.
I second touch cake. I was so stuttering.
Exactly. As long as he's happy, okay, fine. Yeah.
But that's good. Then you don't have to prepare separate like two things, right? Just one dish.
Yeah. Yeah. But of course lah, like I cannot give him ayam lemak lah. So I cannot give him sambal dadu. Of course, like those days when I do want spicy food, I have to prepare soup for him.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm pretty happy that he eats tempeh also because my husband doesn't eat tempeh. So my son loves tempeh. So whenever I make tempeh, he will like grab them off my plate, and I'm like, I have to take another one. So I always fry a big batch.
Yum.
Yeah.
You gonna say something?
I was gonna say it's so cool. I rasa macam these days I see moms they have this machine where they steam their food,
Right.
and then they blend it. Wow.
The machine steams and blends.
Steams and blends. Technology.
Makes it easier for mom.
Yeah, but it looks so weird because like they're feeding their babies like pumpkin, carrots, like super healthy things. I cannot imagine eating that.
Yeah.
It's not me, but I cannot imagine.
You won't know anything, I guess, if you're a baby. You just eat whatever they give you.
Yeah, that's what my mom also used to feed me when I was a child. So instead of like the pots of baby food, she would blend carrots and don't know what thing and just feed me. I'm like, what? The amount of effort as a mother.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. I think it takes a lot, obviously, to be a mom. Thank you so much, Shamsydar, for being on board, taking time out. We really look forward to launching the guide as well. I think we've got a lot of good stuff in it. So yeah.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna
Thank you so much for having me.
we're gonna look forward to your second book.
Inshallah.
Hopefully, inshallah.
Okay, lah. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And in the meantime, we'll say goodbye to Shamsydar and everyone else. Bye.
Bye.
Alright guys, thanks for listening. So we'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget to give us a shout out on anchor.fm/The Halal Travel Podcast. Your voice message could be featured in our next episode.
Yup, and if you have any advertising and collaboration opportunities, contact us at info@halaltrip.com. That's info@halaltrip.com.
Also, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Halal Trip. We're also now on Telegram and TikTok. Until next time, get inspired, go and inspire others.